Welcome to Empowering She. My name is Rochelle, and welcome to a place where knowledge is power and women inspire, uplift, and teach each other. This is episode 7 and the start of a new week, which means new topic, new guests, and new books for my She Reads book club. This week, we are going to be discussing abuse, and I know you're probably wondering why are we talking about abuse, but we'll get to that soon. Today, I have Charla Hammond on the show. She's an author, musician, voiceover artist, and speaker. She is also the author of the book I've selected this week for the She Reads book club, and that is Life Reclaimed Against Domestic Violence. Charla is a woman of strength and dignity, and I'm so happy to have her here. But first, let's talk about her book. Life Reclaimed Against Domestic Violence is not just any book. It is the story of a woman who experienced abuse in her marriage and finally was able to get away. The book also reveals tips and tools anyone could use in order to break free mentally and emotionally before and after leaving their abuser. Charla does a great job of laying out the warning signs of abuse, the precautions to take when faced with abuse, and how to move on in your life after abuse. I was honored with being one of the first people to read this book. And though it is not published yet, I want all of you to pre-purchase the book on her site to get your copy upon release. You can also visit my site to get the copy as well at www.indiarochelle.com. This book is a gem to keep with you whether you're in an abusive relationship or not. I believe that every woman needs a book like this. So, what is abuse? So there are 6 types of abuse: emotional, physical, verbal, mental, sexual, and financial. Each one of these are wrong and should not be tolerated whatsoever. And the reason I'm speaking up on abuse is because there are women out there that are listening to this show that may be experiencing it. And I, for one, have been a victim of abuse. And abuse is by no means a laughing matter. And in Charla's book, she explains how women are targeted to be victims. She also voices how women can see the warnings of an abuser before getting in a relationship with one. If you are getting abused, it's important for you to find help. And all the ladies that's listening to my show that are entrepreneurs, it's important that you see that entrepreneurship is definitely an outlet and a way to a new, fresh start, but it does not cure abuse. Your abuser will still be there after you've made sales. Your abuser will still be there when you've reached your momentum in your business, and your abuser he will still be there if you lose it all. So my advice is that you get out of there, get very far away from that situation, because your business, your soul, and your life will never truly be free until you do. So, as I mentioned earlier, I have the gorgeous Charla Hammond here. She is discussing her book, Life Reclaimed Against Domestic Violence, and she's going to give you guys some advice on being in an abusive relationship. So without making you wait any longer, welcome to Empowering She, Charla. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing wonderful, India. Thank you so much for having me on your show. I'm very appreciative of it.
Oh, that's great. Can you tell us a bit about yourself?
Yes. I definitely can tell you a bit about myself. Well, I am a single mom of 3 children, and I have a passion for life. And I'm ambitious enough to go against the limits that others, or even society, that is trying to place on me. And you know what, India, statistically, I should not be educated, nor should I be a business owner. I shouldn't even have well-rounded children that are reaching for their dreams. However, it's definitely opposite in my case. And that's why in whatever project that I'm involved in, I want to be able to motivate others to reach their dreams and just to make it happen.
Awesome. And before we go any further, I want to tell you guys how I met this high-spirited woman. I met Charla through a mutual friend that referred her to me for web design services. And after talking to Charla about her site, we started bonding outside of business. She told me her story and I told her mine, and we instantly became great friends. When she told me she was writing a book on abuse, I was eager to read it, and she sent me a copy. And when I tell you guys, this book made me cry and look at abuse in a whole nother aspect. It really did. Charla, before I talk too much too soon, could you tell us about Life Reclaimed Against Domestic Violence? What is it about?
Yes, definitely. I can definitely talk about that. Well, you know what? My book has been a long time coming. I've been knowing for, definitely about 20 years that I was going to write a book on my experience. It was just all a matter of time, though. Basically, my book is a memoir that speaks about my experience as a survivor of domestic violence. And it also speaks on how my relationship with my father, affected my decision-making when it came to being in relationships. Okay? But also it talks about the power of forgiveness, and it also gives practical advice on forgiveness as well.
Wow, amazing. And can you tell us about your experience with abuse?
Yeah, I can. I definitely can. It was definitely a horrible experience.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I wouldn't wish abuse upon anyone, not even my worst enemy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've been through a lot, and I've experienced everything from being held to a wall by my neck to being smothered with pillows, and it gets even worse than that.
Wow.
You know, I'll just stop right there.
Wow, that's awful. How did you get out of that situation?
Well, I finally made up my mind after living in fear for almost about 2.5 to 3 years. And, you know, I know it may sound crazy, but what usually happens is that victims usually go back to their abusers, or they may get into another abusive relationship. But in my case, you know, we were separated for a while, then I ended up going right back, and we were married for about another 7 years. And since everyone knew at that time that there was physical abuse, that I had experienced that, the actual physical abuse had ceased, so he had stopped. But the belittling, the criticism, the mind games, the infidelity, those things continued.
The verbal and the mental. Wow.
Yes.
Wow. So what are some of the signs of abuse that you can warn other women about?
Okay. Well, you know, there's so many signs, you know, of abuse. But I'll just, you know, name a few here, you know. And I think that it's very important that women know the signs and that they get out, definitely.
Right.
One sign can be controlling behavior. If you feel afraid of your partner, if your partner has a bad temper and they are unpredictable. Also, if your partner has been threatening to kill you or hurt you, even manhandling you. Manhandling you. Partners that act excessively jealous, even possessive, even if, and especially if the partner tries to isolate you from those that support you, like your family and your friends.
Wow, and that's good stuff. So what is the best advice you can give to a woman who's actually experiencing the abuse?
Well, one of the things I would say is to definitely play it cool. You know, get out ASAP. You know, don't worry about your belongings. Get out because your life is at stake.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. Wow. Get out.
Wow, you are so strong to me and courageous. What empowered you to speak up on abuse?
Well, for one thing, you know, I have a heart for hurting women because I've experienced so much trauma in my personal life. You know, I can relate, and I want others to be free and to move forward and do whatever it is that they want to do with their life. And so, you know, that's one of the things that, you know, that's empowered me to speak on it is because I can relate to it.
Right.
And it's, yes.
Well, awesome. So when will your book be released?
Okay, well, actually my book will be released on October the 13th. However, it is currently available for pre-order right now on my website.
Okay, so you guys, y'all make sure you go and pre-order your copy on Charla's website. And it's on www.charlahammond.com. It's also on mine as well. But Charla, how can people find you and reach out to you?
Okay, well, they can actually reach me by going to my website, www.charlahammond.com. That's CharlaHammond.com. Or just go to the contacts tab and then just send me an email, and also my contact number is on my website as well. And that's 501-563-6354. So anybody can reach me, you know, my website. It has all my information there.
Oh, thank you, girl. And I'm so elated that you joined us today. You have so much courage, and I definitely foresee your book as a bestseller. And thank you for coming by, Charla. I will talk to you soon.
Thank you for having me, India. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Bye. Charla is amazing, and she's so very talented. I really admire her. You can learn all about Charla on her website, as she mentioned before, at www.charlahammond.com. You can also, as I mentioned before, pre-purchase her book, Life Reclaimed Against Domestic Violence, on her site, too. So we are at the point in the show where I read back some feedback, and I have a question here from Yolanda Ross on Facebook. She asks, India, I admire your show and I feel that you have a lot to offer. How did you find your purpose? So, hello, Yolanda. I found my purpose by remembering my story. And I want to be clear, a story is your journey through life, the things you've endured, the things you were good at, the ups and downs, the highs and lows of your entire life. And when I looked at my life and the things I've been through and achieved, that was when I discovered what my purpose was. And I also discovered what I had to offer to people. So the next question I have is from Caroline Davis from Twitter. She asks, do you make YouTube videos and do you use Periscope? Well, Caroline, I do not make YouTube videos. As I've said it in a show before, I'm really, really shy, believe it or not. But I have used Periscope before, and I will actually be more active on Periscope starting next week. So if anyone is already on Periscope, add me to your scope at India_Rochelle. I do add people back. And if you have any feedback, suggestions, or questions, feel free to contact me on social media by messaging me on Facebook at www.facebook.com/IndiaRochelle and on Twitter by tweeting or DMing me at India_Rochelle. If you can also email me at feedback@IndiaRochelle.com. So we've reached the end of our show, and I'm so happy that Charla Hammond was able to come on here and talk about her book and also drop some tips on abuse. Don't forget to tune into my next show this Thursday. I will have Yvette Hudson here to discuss her take on abuse. And go ahead and pre-order that book, Life Reclaimed Against Domestic Violence by Charla Hammond. You can pre-order on her site at www.charlahammond.com. That's www.CharlaHammond.com, or visit my site, www.IndiaRochelle.com, and click on the tab She Reads, and everything you need is on that page. Before I leave, I would like to leave you with this quote. I could not at any age be content to take my place by the fireside and simply look on. Life was meant to be lived. Curiosity must be kept alive. One must never, for whatever reason, turn his back on life. This was once said by Eleanor Roosevelt. Keep on inspiring, uplifting, and teaching each other. Thursday, we'll have Yvette Hudson here on Empowering She. Talk to you soon and have a magical night.